Oh, lovely, it's after squirting all over me, fabulous. Right, probably should have just. So that's a little bit concerning. It's just foundation, Laura, for crying out loud. Oh, fuck. Oh, am I so blue? Come out. Out. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is so weird, and for some reason I've been putting this off for so long, and I needed to remind myself how much I absolutely love making YouTube videos. I always have. I love the creative process. I've just become so absorbed in, you know, the Instagram instant stories thing, and in essence it's made me kind of lazy, and I want to get back to my roots, to what I love, and what I love is doing product reviews. They might not draw in the same audience, but it's what I love, and numbers aren't everything. So without further ado, today I want to do a good old-fashioned review. Now I'm going to call it a first impressions, but technically I'm lying. I have actually tried this foundation before, but my skin was going through a really shitty patch, so I don't feel like I got a really good true reflection of what the foundation is like. But look, we'll see, maybe I will hate it. And the foundation is the Stila Stay All Day Foundation and Concealer. So it comes in like really nice luxe packaging. It looks like this. The foundation's in here and the top flips open to give you a concealer. Now this has been in my stash to try for like probably a year plus at this stage, and I'm finally getting around to it. I'm the kind of gal who gets very comfortable using a specific product and then I don't want to stray from it, but I need to get out of my comfort zone and start using other products than my little arsenal of like 10, 12 products that I use all the time. So this was actually sent to me in PR. I definitely didn't buy this, but that's not going to affect my review in any way, shape or form. I'm obviously going to be honest, and you're going to see the evidence on my face. So even if I was to lie, you'd be like, but Laura, your skin looks like shit. So I was sent 2 shades here. I'm not sure if I'll be either or both or how it's gonna work, but look, I'm wearing a polo neck, so regardless, I can make it work, I'd say. I was sent Bare 1 and Light 3. A skin perfecting duo, ultra long wearing, vitamin rich, fragrance free formula, smooths over all skin types to cover, hydrate and even enhance blood flow. Okay, I'm gonna put my hair back because that will be really annoying during application. So skin wise, I have an oily T-zone, normal-ish on the edges of my face, and at the moment we're going through a bit of a weird weather change, so my skin has been a bit weird at the moment. I won't be using a primer, and I will probably be using my beauty blender to apply it. That's my favorite way of applying any foundation. So let's have a look at the shades. The Light 3 looks quite dark, but we'll see. Okay, so it's one of these kind of like, so that's the shade there. Oh, lovely, it's after squirting all over me, fabulous. And this one is there. I think we can agree I'm probably closer to the Bare 1, which is the lighter of the two. Do you know what I'm probably going to end up doing is mixing the two, because while this one is very obviously close to my natural skin tone, when I match my foundation to my neck, I can look very ghostly and it doesn't do the foundation any favors. So I'm probably going to mix the two. I would say this is a really nice fake tan shade. I've practically no tan on now at the moment, but yeah, that looks like it might be a nice fake tan shade. Right, straight off the bat, it's not an ideal packaging for mixing because I've had to kind of scrape the product off onto my little palette. So yeah, that's not ideal. It's quite a thick formula and there's like little lumps in it. As I said, I'm going to use my beauty blender and I'm going to zoom you in so you can see what we got going on. Okay, this is quite yellow. I'm not getting much of a scent off it, so if you're sensitive to smells, that's good. Right, I will say a little bit definitely does go a very long way. Hopefully you'll be able to see there the kind of level of coverage I'm getting. It's definitely a medium, a good solid medium coverage. Verging on full probably. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, But I'm definitely seeing a lot of texture here that I wouldn't usually see. So that's a little bit concerning. It's just foundation, Laura, for crying out loud. Do you know what I might do actually? I might try with a brush on the other side. I'm going to use the blank canvas, like the Marble Collection MF56. It's a little flat top brush. I want to see how that... Oh fuck. Oh Jesus, this is a fucking disaster. Nah. Back to the sponge. Okay, I'm gonna have to say straight off the bat, I'm not happy with this foundation. This was a lot of work for me. I'm like a slap it on, out the door kind of gal. And this is not one of those foundations. I'd be interested to hear what you think, how this looks on camera. I might zoom in a little bit further just so you can really see. Obviously there's a colour difference, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of texture being highlighted here that I wouldn't usually have. But look, all in the name of research. Actually, let's get a price check for this. Ooh, €34. Okay. Concealer wise, I'm probably, yeah, I'm looking at the light one for sure. And it seems to be quite pinky toned, so I'm going to use that, just using my finger underneath the eye. Quite oily, I would say. And then I'm just going to use the tip or the pointy end of the Beauty Blender just to blend that in. Yeah, that looks okay. Certainly not the best coverage I've ever achieved from a concealer, but yeah, not bad. Alright, that's foundation and concealer done. I'm just going to wash my hands. I'll probably leave this base just to settle for 5 minutes and I'll be right back to see how it melts into the skin, if it does, if it doesn't. See you in 5. Okay, so the studio lighting is being, I think, a little bit unforgiving, and I'm also looking at this under magnifying light, which is obviously not going to be very forgiving either. So I just said I'd come out and show you what this looks like in natural light. It's definitely still not perfect, but definitely does look better out in natural daylight as opposed to under the studio lights. So just said I'd show you the comparison. Again, the color is not perfect, so just like ignore that, but I would definitely say it's glowy. Hell yeah, it's been a little over 5 minutes and I'm after examining my skin both in my front facing camera and in the mirror and in natural light and studio light, and I can confirm I actually think I quite like this. Now, as you can tell, it's definitely melted into the skin beautifully. It looks really, really nice and natural, but it's definitely glowy and I'm a matte kind of bitch. So I always use powder, so I don't feel like I'm cheating by using powder with this foundation, because I know this is not going to last on my skin otherwise. I just know, because it's so glowy and hydrating. But I would definitely agree that it, as per the claims, it is definitely hydrating. I can feel my brush kind of sticking to it, so it's very, very dewy. Alright, despite being set, it still does feel sticky, so I'm not a fan of that aspect. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. So it's about half an hour later. I've been dancing and playing air guitar for the last 20 minutes or so, just arsing around. So I finished my makeup, as you can see. Right, so when I was applying my bronzer and my blush, I was like, I fucking hate this foundation. It felt really sticky, but I feel like the powders and the foundation have kind of married together and it doesn't feel so sticky now. There's definitely like a tiny bit of tackiness to it, but it's enough that I can withstand. For a few minutes there, I was like, I'm gonna have to take this foundation off because it's gonna drive me insane. I don't like the feeling of texture on my skin. I like feeling like, I don't mind the feeling of makeup on my skin as long as it's matte. I don't know, is that weird? Do any of you feel the same way as me? But yeah, this is how it's looking. I'm gonna do another clip in a few minutes showing you what it's like in natural lighting, not ring light or studio lighting. It's looking okay. The color, I would say, is oxidized slightly. So this is what it's looking like close up. As you can see, my product's applied okay on top. There was a little bit of skipping with my bronzer, but I eventually did blend that out with the powder. I did not apply a highlighter and I did not use a setting spray, so I will be able to do reasonably accurate check-ins during the day. It's 11:44 now, so 11:45. I will see you for check-ins during the day. It's 2:30. Sorry for the noise, it's like pissing rain outside. It's just shy of 3 hours in, I think. 11:45, 1:45, 1:45, 1:45, yeah. And obviously you can see I have a hat on, so there might be a little bit of wear up there, but I mean, what foundation can withstand that? But I have to say, I was looking at it earlier. Okay, so I'm definitely not happy with the colour. The colour is definitely like, I mean, it might look all right there, but when you compare it to my like hand and arm, it's definitely not right. And I also mentioned earlier that I feel like it's a medium coverage. It's a weird one because you can still see all of my freckles through it. So I feel like it's not really a medium coverage. My breakout is still somewhat covered. It's definitely, it feels fine on the skin. I would say it feels slightly more foundation-y than I'm used to. And let's see if there's been any transfer off. Well, actually, it's still looking pretty good on the forehead considering there's been a beanie cap rubbing on it. But yeah, I'm gonna go in and make myself some dinner now. I'm actually gonna go to a hot yoga class later, but that won't be till 8 o'clock. And like, I don't expect it to withstand a hot yoga class. So yeah, that's my check-in for now. It's still looking pretty decent-ish. Wow, this is not cute. I'm just on the way out the door to hot yoga. Hang on till I throw on the studio light. I'm actually quite impressed with how this foundation has looked today. There's been very minimal transfer on my forehead, and I've been wearing hats kind of all day. Also around my neck I've been wearing like polo necks and jackets and stuff, and there's been very minimal transfer. You can still see my blush, and it hasn't broken down a huge amount around my nose or my chin. So far so good. It's now 7:15. So what's that? 11:45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's been 7.5 hours. So that's not bad going. Let's see how it gets on in hot yoga, just for shits and gigs. I'm not a sweaty person usually, but in hot yoga I tend to fairly drip. How are you? It's 10 to 10. I am just home from hot yoga. I'm pretty sure the heating wasn't ramped right up, and I overheard someone else commenting, and the person behind the desk was like, oh yeah, no, today we didn't do full hot yoga, we just did like a variation, whatever, grand. So yoga wasn't that sweaty. Definitely was a little bit sweaty, but not that sweaty. And I'm back to update you. So it's now, well, 11:45. It's been 10 hours since I put it on. Okay, so that's not bad going. Okay, I'm actually quite impressed. It's definitely not my favorite foundation of all time, just based on this first impression. But, oh god, look at the state of this. Lovely. But I'm pleasantly surprised, especially compared to the first time where it did not sit properly on my skin at all. Yeah, first impressions are pretty good. It's quite expensive for what it is, but I am going to continue trying this, and we'll see how it goes, and I will update you on my Instagram or Instagram stories when I have further opinions. But yeah, first impressions, I'd probably give it a good 7.5 out of 10. Anyway, I am very tired. I want to go to bed. I'm going to wash this off. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.